Chiefs day one of training camp with the full team is in the books, and it was a hell of a show to kick it off. What went on? Deep passing game, a little bit of O-line change, and guys that weren't out there right now on RGR Football. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ryan. This is me going rogue, and this is your Sunday recap. We're doing Chiefs reports here on RGR to give you the updated information now that we are officially in full go at training camp. Like, sub, hit the bell, become part of Rogue Nation here. Lot going on here, and it starts and ends, honestly, with the biggest play of the day, the one that has hit the universe the hardest, and that is that, yes, Xavier Worthy is exactly what we thought he was. The speed is there. The overhead tracking is there. It is exactly what they've been looking for, and it really does mark the thing that I said the moment he was drafted. I called it downtown Hollywood Brown, the two of them as a pair. Xavier going downtown as deep as humanly possible. And kudos to the Chiefs media team. They did a great job capturing it. And really, it was exactly what we'd hoped, right? As we take a look at this here, Patrick rolling around, getting to his left-hand side, resets his feet and lets it go. Lots of air underneath this pass so that Worthy could work the route. Makes a diving catch into the end zone. Not happy to see it against Brian Cook, but he does a little dance there, and you get what you get. This is a play that, in the end, exemplifies everything that he can do for you. This was a route that what this happened to be is Xavier doing what he does, getting an easy release. He was in the slot, so he didn't have press on him. He takes it to a corner post, not an uncommon route, and he gets behind the defender initially. I think it was a little soft zone underneath, passing off to the deep safety in what looked like a cover two shell. Maybe it was single high, because I'm not absolutely sure what was going on in the other safety position, but we'll get to that in a second. And what he's able to do is just get a little bit of width with his first stab to the outside, faking that corner out, and then turns it straight back up towards the post. And kudos to Brian Cook for trying to keep up, but that speed that nobody really has. He's the fastest guy to ever run at the combine, and that's part of what does it. So gets behind Cook, makes that tracking catch over his shoulder, looking backward, doing exactly what he has to do. And this is what he does. This was his number one aspect that Dan and I broke down in the draft season. And that's what Xavier brings to the table. It's not just speed. He understands where the ball is in relation to what he's doing. And Patrick certainly was excited after the play to go running around. Got a lot of kudos from the coaching staff. We're pretty visibly excited, as were his teammates. He and Hollywood celebrating a little bit on the sideline, very much there. Want to see more of this, but obviously first day out, getting an understanding of where he's supposed to be. Now, on the other side of the play was today's news that Justin Reid is going to be on NFI for a while. That is a non-football injury, meaning he came in with some kind of training injury. I believe it's listed as a quad. He is listed as day-to-day, as we all are. But Justin Reid saying that he's going to make a comeback here, looking to do some big things. Minor setback for a big comeback. We know the line. I think he's going to be fine. He, in his wisdom and being a guy that's really representing the team all offseason, I don't think that there's any chance that they let anything untoward go for him. Probably being a little bit cautious right here. Justin Reid going to be out at least a little bit here to begin camp, but I do think they'll be all right. In his stead, and on this play, was Jaden Hicks, number 21. That's what he's wearing in there as the other safety. And what you can see from the play is that he's coming down, and I do believe it was either a two shell that was short and tall, or if it was a single high that was coming up underneath for Jaden Hicks. I don't think that it had anything to do with the play, but it does give you the idea that there's a little bit of learning curve for the defense. The offense clearly today with multiple catches from Hollywood Brown, with Travis Kelce doing his thing. And obviously this isn't the only play that Xavier Worthy had either. Had a nice sideline catch, as we understand, had another post route. Kudos to Justin Ross. He had a nice play in the back of the end zone, as we understand as well. Didn't get any of those on film, but they're out there. And it means that the offense is ahead of where the defense is a little bit, even though there is an absolute ton of experience in the secondary for the Kansas City Chiefs. A couple of young guys are going to have to play, Jaden Hicks being one of them right now, with Justin Reid out. Now, besides that, a couple of takeaways that I did notice: Kadarius Toney obviously working a bit with the running backs and with the wide receivers. Anything you can do to make use of his talents, they got to do. They keep saying that he's still just as talented, the most talented guy out here. I think that's probably an argument at this point, but hey, that's okay. You got to do what you can do to wring any kind of value out of Kadarius Toney right now. And quite frankly, you need to display him in the preseason games, because I do think he is a possibility. If he can show his versatility again, you can get some trade value for him. I don't know if it'll be much, but it might be something. Otherwise, you could see him stacked in with the wide receivers. If he's just going to be a punt returner that happens to line up at running back sometimes, that gives you a little bit more flash and speed to a running back room that maybe isn't as flashy. LRZ actually brings some of that, but we don't know if he's going to make it onto the field as a running back anytime soon. Love what Carson Steele brings. You guys know that, but that's not the speed factor. So it comes down to Pops and who's going to back up Pops. It wasn't all candy for the offense either, because the defense made some plays. And one player in that secondary that we haven't talked a ton about, because he's been right on the edge of making the roster, pushing some of the draft picks here, is Echo Boydo, the K-State product that we know has capability. Played some teams for the Chiefs last year and has the ability there. In the play today, just undercut a nice pass, was able to take it away, dance on the sidelines, maintain his composure. And that's exactly what you're looking for a second-year player to start making a run towards making this rosters. So don't forget the defense. Now, Kamal Hadden is there. Obviously, with Jalen Watson out, you're going to get a few more reps for those two guys in particular. There's Miles Battle. It's an interesting rookie. There's Kelvin Joseph. There's a lot of players that are right there in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th spots that really need to find a way to differentiate themselves. This is one way to do it. Kudos to Echo Boydo for a first step forward here on day one of camp. Successful first day out at training camp, and I think there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to be able to buckle down on later as we start to see a little bit of progression. Offensive line. That is going to be a jigsaw puzzle. They're going to continue to work variations and things as they try to figure out who's going to line up. And a little bit of a surprise, Wanye Morris got the initial reps on day one. I think that's going to move around. You'll see Kingsley start with the ones on some days. I think Wanye will start with the ones on some days, but it's going to be a back and forth. The rep split is about 50-50. So that's what we expect. That means it's still an open competition, just as we had hoped for, expected, and that is a good thing. So overall, that's the starting point. What was interesting too is that it was Caliendo that got the left guard snaps, much like he did in OTAs, except for when Wanye wasn't at guard, in lieu of Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney was on the sidelines on day one, working some hip extension, some shoulder extension, which is important for a recovered pec injury. You have to have that shoulder extension to be able to make those blocks. Now, he's extending. I thought from what I saw on film, it looked like he has good flexibility and mobility in that shoulder so far. The power is going to be the question mark. That will come on as we go through camp. Now, again, he's probably the number one question mark for me. I know Justin Reid being out is new, but I think he is the number one question mark for me in making sure that they have something set aside in terms of his rehab, everything, every protocol he needs, nutrition, et cetera, to make the most out of it. Is it critical that he's in camp? It'd be good. It will help the younger guys, Wanye or Kingsley at left tackle. But the big thing is to have him in the season. And it's been a much longer recovery than we expected at first, and it's gone on and on and on. It is the critical injury in this first week of camp that we need to keep an eye on. So more updates coming on that. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to give you these breakdowns this week as well on Tuesday. That's my normal breakdown segment. That's the show where I'm just going to give you what I think, point blank, straight ahead. Don't miss it. Thanks for being with me today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.